Now you find yourself as a mature man, perhaps in your 40s, 50s, or beyond. You've experienced life in its rawest forms. You've faced setbacks, endured pressure, and gained wisdom through moments that tested you deeply. Then unexpectedly, a younger woman enters your world. She brings vibrance, curiosity, and a refreshing sense of energy. But more than that, she gives you real attention. Not casual politeness, but something that feels genuine. That attention stirs something within you. It feels new. It feels alive. And this is exactly where many men begin to slip quietly and almost unconsciously. When an older man feels drawn to a younger woman, something internal begins to shift. He slowly disconnects from his own value. He forgets the strength built through years of experience. Instead of standing firm, he starts adjusting himself. He tries to fit into her lifestyle, her rhythm, her world. He softens his edges. He becomes less centered. Over time, he begins acting like someone he is not. The moment that shift happens, everything changes. She no longer sees a grounded, confident man. Instead, she sees someone overreaching, someone trying too hard. And slowly, the attraction begins to fade. This is not about criticism. It's about awareness and discipline. You must protect your identity, your self-respect, and your inner strength. Attraction should never pull you away from who you are. A composed man moves with clarity. He doesn't chase. He doesn't lose himself. What we're breaking down here are not just dating mistakes. They are principles that guard your value. First, never attempt to behave like her age. Your life experience is not the same, and it's not meant to be. Many men fall into the trap of trying to mirror younger energy. They change how they dress. They follow trends that don't align with them. They try to fully immerse themselves in her world. But in doing so, they weaken their presence. They abandon what makes them distinct. A woman can feel when something is forced. It comes across as unnatural, and that quietly erodes attraction. Your age is not a disadvantage. It's your edge. You've gone through hardship, growth, and transformation. That builds depth. That builds presence. She is not looking for you to imitate her. She is drawn to qualities she has not yet developed. Your calmness, your stability, your grounded confidence. When you stop trying to match her energy and simply remain centered, you naturally become more appealing. Second, do not become her emotional support. System. This often happens subtly. She starts opening up about her struggles, her past, her feelings. You listen. You want to help. You feel a sense of purpose in being there for her. But over time, you become her emotional outlet. She comes to you when she feels overwhelmed. She shares everything, and you begin to mistake this for connection. But it's not attraction, it's dependency. There is a clear difference between being present and being emotionally used. A strong man listens, but he doesn't absorb everything. He doesn't carry her emotional weight. He remains steady and composed. He doesn't rush to fix every problem. He protects his own peace. If she brings emotional turbulence, you remain calm. That contrast is powerful. When you stay grounded, she respects you. But if you become her emotional crutch, she stops seeing you as a man and starts seeing you as support. Third, never seek her validation. This is one of the most common mistakes. You begin giving more compliments. You wait anxiously for her replies. You adjust your behavior just to keep her attention. Slowly, you start needing her approval, and that's where your value begins to decline. The moment you rely on validation, you lose your position. You stop leading and start trying to please. And that shift is always felt, even if it's never openly addressed. A man who understands his worth doesn't look for reassurance. He already knows who he is. When you remain confident and centered, you don't need her approval, and that creates attraction. If she takes time to respond, you stay focused on your own life. You don't chase. You don't overthink. You remain in control. That composure is what maintains your value and strengthens your presence. Fourth, don't try to impress her. This is where many men go wrong. They overanalyze everything. They try too hard to say the perfect thing or create the perfect moment. But this creates pressure. You become someone seeking approval instead of someone who naturally leads. A strong man doesn't perform, he directs. He makes decisions calmly, he moves with purpose. He doesn't feel the need to prove himself. Leadership is quiet. It's not about dominance or noise. It's about clarity and direction. You choose the path. You speak with intention. You remain relaxed. When you lead, she feels secure. When you try to impress, she feels tension. That difference changes everything. The more natural and composed you are, the more she is drawn toward you. Real strength is simple, steady, and controlled. Fifth, don't create a future in your mind too quickly. This is a subtle but dangerous mistake. You meet her and your mind begins building scenarios. You start imagining long-term outcomes. You picture a future together, but in doing so, you create emotional attachment to something that isn't real yet. You stop seeing things clearly. You overlook red flags. You accept behavior you normally wouldn't tolerate. And eventually, this leads to disappointment because you fell for an idea, not the person. Stay grounded in the present. Observe her actions. Take your time.